Hello and welcome back to UK Tool Talk. Right, today's review is this monster. This isn't a new tool, it's been out 8 years or so. But this is the Makita DHR 400 breaker. So it uses two 18 volt LXT batteries to make it a 36 volt breaker. But what's a little bit sort of different than this breaker than like a slightly smaller one, this is STS Max. And what that means is it's got a real bit the same sort of system as an STS, but obviously it's a lot bigger. Hang on, let me get a... Right, so this is STS Plus, and you can see the massive difference. This is STS Max. So a tool like this is mainly sort of like designed for doing sort of breaking up concrete, not massively thick concrete pads, but this is only sort of like a medium duty breaker. We'll put the bit in, so it slides in like a normal SDS, and this little blue collar here is how you release it. You push that, it's quite stiff, push that back, and that goes in like that. It does, a little bit of fiddle. Anyway, so the reason I got this is this popped up second hand. I think it was either on Facebook Marketplace or eBay, can't remember. And I think initially it was up for 500 quid. This is a very expensive tool. Brand new, I think if you look online, they're about, the cheapest is 650 quid, body only, no batteries. So yeah, a very expensive tool. I've kind of like, sort of like, you know, had my eye on one of these for a while, but 650 quid. So I saw one up for 500. There was no buyers. It was on for months, and eventually it went down to 400. And I think I put in a bid for sort of 380, and I managed to get it. So I've used it a little bit, but mainly this is on permanent loan to the plumbing company I work for, and our plumbing company has got two builders, and this lives with the builders. So this has been used quite a lot at work in the last year. I think I bought this about a year ago. So regarding what do the builders think of it, well, the feedback I've got is just for little sort of like little demo work. Let's say we had a brick manhole which you had to take to bits, and just getting in between the courses of the bricks, or a little bit of concrete pad breaking up. This is really good. It's not it's not light. I'll put the actual weight of it on the screen in a minute, but yeah, it's definitely a two-handed machine. Yeah, when it's actually when you're holding it, yeah, it feels quite balanced. The actual grab handle at the front, that can be loosened like that, and then this can be moved a bit like that. So if you wanted it in a different spot, and I think it's somehow you can take it off and spin it 90 degrees, so you could have the handle on that, but mainly I think the builders just leave it like that. So yeah, let's see other features. This breaker has got two modes. It will just do drilling like that, and then this little dial on the top, you can put that on to hammer drilling. So you can get the rotation. We'll put a bit in. There. So that's on hammer drilling. And this little bit here is, if you put it onto that, if I had like a spade bit on, you can adjust that to where you want it, and then lock it onto there. So we'll just take the bit out a minute. Hang on. So also it's got an AWS chip, which is a Bluetooth chip that links to Makita vacuum cleaners. So what I'll put up on screen, you can get like an attachment that goes on here that has a flexible tube, and when you're doing drilling and chipping, it pulls all the dust up into an extract, and then to hopefully a Makita extract, and then this chip will sort of like start the vacuum cleaner. It's got a speed control, if you can see down there. That goes from 2 up to 5 there, and it The big selling point, if you look online about this machine, is this. AVT, anti-vibration technology. What that means is, I might take this to bits, but I don't know. I probably won't, because I know what's inside it. What I mean, it's got all sorts of dampers in here and springs. So if you come up close, you can see that this black bit here is sort of isolated. You can see it move there. That's isolated from this bit, and also this bit's isolated as well. It's got dampers and it's got sort of springs in there, and on the battery bits, you can see they're allowed to move around a bit. Where the battery terminal connections are, we've got movement there. We're going to do a little bit of testing in a bit, and it's not zero vibration. Now, you wouldn't want to be using this all day. It is no, not high vibration, but just for short work, this is absolutely brilliant. So, what's my initial thoughts about this machine? Well, not right now, when I got it and when I've used it. If you're doing sort of like a lot of demo work and breaking up concrete and stuff like that, this would be an asset. Well, only really if you're on the LXT platform. If you were just a regular sort of a jobbing tradie, like a plumber or a joiner, but definitely not a joiner, but you never know, or even like a brickie or something like that, this would be an asset if you could afford to buy it. Right, one thing that kind of confuses me about this breaker is, like I said before, it's very, very heavy, but I've cleaned this bloody thing up. It was absolutely shit up. So imagine it's on a building site and it's getting bumped about a lot. Look, come in a little bit. If this gets dropped, it's gonna land on the batteries probably. And I think this bit here should have been a bit taller, and here a little bit wider to protect the batteries. But what's weird, it's got threads in the bottom of here, like something will go in there. And whether you can make a bumper bar to go on the bottom, online I've not seen anything. There's nothing, I can't find anything that would go onto there. But yeah, that's the only thing. I've not heard of these getting smashed off here. I've not seen any broken ones online, but that's something to take care if you've got one of these machines. Just don't go throwing it about, because even though it's got like some sort of vibration protection there, it's possible to get some broken with the batteries. Other things of note, it looks like a serious machine. I know some people don't like all the design features in modern power tools, but it looks pro. It looks proper pro. You've got a big aluminium bit on the top there. You've got all these dampers in and springs to stop the vibration. And then I like this little bit here. Makita used to have little white bits on stuff, kind of like this. On this range of Makita drills, they used to have, well, this is more like a silver, but you see what I mean. So normal Makitas are sort of like black and teal, but I like it. It's got that white bit in that really shows off this little bit about the anti-vibration technology. So it's a good looking tool. It's a serious tool. There's no way you could hold it one-handed, but if you were chiseling down, I suppose you could do that. Well, let's have a close-up look at the battery terminals where the batteries go on, the battery connectors. It's got 4 rubber or neoprene bumpers on each one, so any vibration that will help with stopping the vibration. And also here, you can see them and there, when the batteries go onto the rails, it's got little metal clips on to stop it sort of wearing away and vibrating. The vibration in the actual mounting is just there, just isolates it a little bit. But yeah, proper pro setup that. Enough waffle. We're going to do a little bit of testing and see how it performs. We've only got a few bits and bobs in the garden to go at, but nevertheless we'll give it a go and then we'll see how it performs. I haven't got a right lot to break up. If you look down there, you can see I've got some a bit of a bottom of a fence panel there and some bits of bricks and all sorts. So hang on a minute. We're going to give this machine a whirl, and this isn't a comparison, but the nearest cordless tool down from this this is my Makita XGT drill. So this is really just for chipping, but I've got that. See how this, we'll do this first and then we'll have a go at the small one, see what the difference is. Pretty impressive. I know it's only a thin bit of concrete, but it has got a little bit of rebar in it. It seems hardly any vibration, honestly, a little bit. And I think the main thing is they should have ear defenders on, because although it's not a really high-pitched noise, it's a thud, really, yeah, ear defenders. But yeah, I'm dead impressed. I'll just try a little bit more. See it for a couple of these bricks. Yep, we'll just try the little one now, just for a little bit of comparison. This isn't fair at all, putting this against that, completely different machines, but we'll give it a go on here. Well, it's not bad. Interesting. On the concrete there, it seemed that's your bigger machine is better, but this wasn't that far behind really, so I was quite impressed with how it chipped that away. With the brick, I think because it's a sort of like a lot thicker, and I don't know, I thought it'd break really easily, but as you saw, it took a lot longer to do it with this one. What we'll do now, in a minute, hang on. Right, what we're going to do now is put a drill bit in the big one. Right, we'll change the setting like that. Okay. Really impressive. Well, yeah. We'll just try one more in here. Pretty impressive. Right then, so what do you reckon of this tool? Didn't give it a proper hardcore sort of review in regarding hammering or breaking, as they would say, because I only had some bits and bobs outside. But I think you hopefully got the gist of it, that compared to this drill, which performed really, really well, this is more really like a bit of small breaking, drilling and sort of chipping with this tool. But this one is a serious breaker, serious mid-sized breaker. Yes, it's really, really expensive. Like I said, it's 650 quid for a brand new one of these. You can pick them up for, I've seen some going for 450. Do you know what I mean? Still seems like a lot of money, but it's an amazing machine. So if you were doing work more on the sort of like not domestic sort of tradesman doing bigger jobs, and he needed to break up a bit of concrete. But I think this really would work well if you were putting in big steel constructions into concrete bases and you had to drill loads of holes for fixings. Because with a drill like this, drill bit like, come in a little bit. I've said this before, that it's about the actual impacts and capability of the drill breaker. But look at this. This is a Bosch so SDS Max bit. Look at the work in that. So that's a quarter of the battle when you're drilling loads of holes. If you're in a situation where you were drilling dozens and dozens and dozens of holes in concrete, it will take a bigger bit than this. I think it will be a good asset, very expensive asset, but this is going to go back to work, and the builders use it periodically. They love it. And just in case you didn't watch one of my other videos about this Makita 12 amp battery, yeah, if you come in a little bit, they do fit on. So these new big batteries, I haven't got a 2, but you can imagine the other one sat by the side of it. Yeah, you'd have a bit more weight. This is the 12, the 9 will fit on them really well as well. So yeah, just so you know about, this is one of the tools that the new batteries fit on. I think this, for what I remember when I was using this at work, it is quite juice heavy. What I mean is it goes through the batteries, because there's a big motor in this. So this could be a good asset, the 12s or the 9s to go in this machine. But yeah, if you had to sort of get yourself a setup with these batteries, this breaker and a charger and stuff, you're looking at way over £1,000. But it would pay for itself in certain circumstances. I think it's a shit hot breaker. Am I going to give it a rad or a rubbish? Well, definitely. This is 2 in a row. I think the last review gave a rad. So yeah, this is a rad Makita breaker. So this is my review, the DHR 400. Sorry, I forgot the name. And yeah, and before I go, I don't say it enough. I hardly ever say it at all, really. I'm so thankful for all you folk out there who watch my daft videos and have subscribed and does likes and comments. It means so much to me. Thank you, every single person who watches UK Tool Talk and used to watch John's random reviews. So there we go. Okay, hopefully I will see you in about a week's time on UK Tool Talk.